about that you read on the internet versus the narrative that was the Bassmaster Classic for those that were there in attendance, live, in person at the expo and the weigh-ins. So that's going to be the topic on HellaBass Live tonight. Is recapping the 2026 Bassmaster Classic Expo from Knoxville, Tennessee. And did front-facing sonar, did live scope diminish? Did it kill? Did it create a bad look for the Bassmaster Classic? Let's talk about that and just kind of break through how it went and what I witnessed being on site versus maybe what some people will tell you on the internet. So what's up, chat? So as always, HellaBass Live, presented by Arsenal Fishing, powered by Intune Marine, and boosted by Powerhouse Lithium. Thanks, everybody. I guess while we're talking about Intune Marine, mark your calendars. If you're anywhere near central Minnesota, they are having their Intune Demo Day on Lord Fletcher's April 26th. You can literally show up for free and get test rides in just about every Phoenix bass boat, every Vexus boat, aluminum, fiberglass, pontoons, and more for free. See fully rigged out boats along the docks, all lined up. Plus, they give you free food like walleye fingers, buffalo wings, good stuff. So definitely worth a shot coming up. Yeah. So let's look, we got Randy Blockett in the chat here. So yep. Lord Fletcher's on Lake Minnetonka. Exactly. Ralph in the chat. Got to see Ralph again at the Classic. Longtime channel member. But we may have some surprise guests. We might open it up, maybe do some viewer participation later once we get into this. Maybe we can get some people that were there to give their kind of what they saw. So I'd love to do that towards maybe the end of the show. And you can support Powerhouse Lithium and Arsenal as well. Fishing, you can use code HellaBass15 for Arsenal Fishing and HB10 for Powerhouse, and maybe HB20 if RJ hasn't shut the code off from the Bassmaster Classic. He's probably not really that well on top of it, so it could be open. You could test it. So yes, exactly. Jig Squad. There are several YouTubers saying wildly negative stuff about the Classic, but I'm going to guess the one common denominator that most of them have in common is they weren't even there. They did not spend their money. They did not travel. They did not go there. They did not take in the buzz at the expo. They did not go to the weigh-ins. They didn't talk with other fans. They didn't talk with other people attending. They're all just creating a narrative without actually any personal firsthand experience. So you find me a creator, YouTuber, podcast that was actually there, that's got evidence of people they talk to and fans they interact with that share that opinion, I would love to hear it. So let's break down what I saw. See, yeah, account 2292 Classic. Don't bring, like, here's the thing is, like, you can like or not like live scope. That is a perfectly fair point, and you can debate whether it's good for the sport or not. But what you can't do, and I think it's completely legitimate to do, is take away any of the accolades or any of the accomplishments of any of the anglers that are playing by the current rules. You can be mad at the tournament organizations. You can refuse to watch it because you think that shouldn't be part of it, and that is fair. But all the anglers have access to the same stuff, the same water, and the same tools, and they're playing on the same field. So, yeah. I mean, if you want to bash, like, don't take away from Easton and Dylan. You can be mad at you can not watch. We can blame Koikes, whatever you think. But don't take it away from the anglers. They're playing by the same rules as everybody else. They have all the same tools. And that's just lazy. They all have the same stuff. So let's just talk about what I actually saw, what we did. And first of all, before I forget, like, I ran into so many of you that watch the show that some of you that comment all the time and some of you never comment, but came up and said hi, whether it was at the Powerhouse Lithium booth, caught me walking through the hallways, joined me looking at some cool swim baits, out on the town at a Luke Duncan thing or a restaurant or walking around town. Like, absolutely, you know, I'm not going to name them all, but I definitely saw Darius and I saw Ralph and a lot of other people that that watch or tune in or listen on the podcast or Facebook or whatever it is. So yeah, first of all, thank you if you came up and said hi. Absolutely love that. Awesome. Still, it never, it still always kind of takes me by surprise. Yes, Jeff, you have a good point. Nobody would be complaining if Drew Cook won, and he was definitely leveraging technology just like the rest of them with his jerkbait. Right. It's a lot easier to get views with mediocre negative content than it is with mediocre positive content. But if you can make truly good positive content, you can get the views. So, yeah. So I got into town Wednesday night late. There was a bunch of people from Minneapolis, some fans, some parents. Bob Downey's parents were on there. Industry people going down for their first classic. In general, excitement high from the people that I talked on the flight. Sat just across the aisle from, or one seat over from Bob Downey's parents. He was enjoying some Miller Lights in first class. He was getting ready to watch his son compete. He was positive. I sat next to Bob, a gentleman that I didn't know, never met before. He gets his tattoo worked at Dane's shop, Harbor Tattoo Studio. He was excited to go to his first classic. I ran him at the show. He said it was an awesome experience. So get down there late. Uber's pretty cheap, like affordable in Knoxville. From the airport, it was like $20, which was pretty affordable. Didn't have to wait too long. Got to the house with the Powerhouse guys. Shout out RJ, his dad. Not shout out Dexter. Kyle Patrick was there. Several people, Amy, and you know, we talked. We thought it was going to go on, and we kind of went to bed. And Thursday morning, I caught a ride with Drunkwood to the media event, and that was cool. The media event, it was a little chillier than one would want for being outside, but it warmed up towards the end. Almost all the anglers were there. I think the only one that wasn't was Jay Shakurt. He had some kind of unfortunate family stuff that bubbled up throughout the week, so no fault to him. But the anglers were there. They were rigging. They were in a good mood for the most part. They were willing to talk. There was a few fans kind of trickling in. I got to meet Alexander, who was a St. Jude survivor. He was walking around with some of the people from St. Jude. I was able to trade him a HellaBass sticker for an Alexander Army bracelet. So I got that. Got to meet with him and chat with him, and we'll definitely get into what I bought towards the end here for sure. We got a little bit of stuff to do some show and tell. I did meet Man in Mission Studio at the Powerhouse booth. I remember that. Yeah, enjoyed his first classic. He was positive. He was with another friend there from Minnesota, and media day was good. There was a lot of excitement. There was a lot of attendee from media people. First time knew Debo was there. Met lots of new people, old faces. Met some people that I only knew through social there. Got a lot of good content, which a lot of it I pushed out already. Out on vertical reels, TikTok, YouTube shorts that has been pretty well received. I think the views were pretty good. A lot of new followers, things like that. So the media day event, the barbecue was somewhat mediocre at Bass Pro Shops. A lot of the pros were in there buying a lot of Mega Bass 110s and shopping before the media day event, which was kind of interesting. What else to say about media day? Yeah, we started with the media interviews, did all that stuff. We broke for lunch. The fans were allowed to come in and went out and did a few more interviews, wrapped up some things, but at that point, just decided to let the fans. There was quite a few fans that came out to the Bass Pro. They're interacting with the anglers. So yeah, overall, a lot of good energy. Stopped at Buc-ee's for the first time. I'll probably never go back to a Buc-ee's again. I think they're completely overrated. It's like the Mall of America of gas stations, and nobody needs that, to be honest. If you like Buc-ee's, it's not my thing. You can look. See, here's the thing. I can say that I don't really want to go to Buc-ee's again, but I won't judge you for loving or wanting to go to Buc-ee's or gassing up your vehicle or boat the way you want to. It doesn't affect me. See, I'm not going to go out on the internet and tell everybody they're a bad person because they like gassing their cars up at Buc-ee's. Let's keep the F-bombs down in the chat. Otherwise, you can take a timeout. But yeah, I mean, that's how Summit is. Yeah, and I met yeah, got to meet the Current in real life. There was a lot of people that I got to meet, even briefly, which I could have spent more time. But yeah, overall, the media day was positive. Got an energy, got an Alani or something at Buc-ee's and used the restroom and got out of there. And see, real debate. If we start making this debate about Buc-ee's versus other gas stations, maybe people will stop complaining about front-facing sonar. I don't know. Anyways, the media day was good. Then they had kind of a welcome party that was kind of open to the public, no cost to enter. That was at their kind of minor league baseball stadium right there. That was not far from everything, which you could pretty much walk to everything in Knoxville once you were at the Expo Center, or you could do it for about a $5 to $10 Uber drive, which was really nice. And went there with Kyle Patrick. We walked around, got a beverage or two, slipped into a Bassmaster VIP thing, just walked in with confidence, got in, got to chat with Mike Iaconelli and Becky for a little bit before we went out to dinner with the Powerhouse crew. And yeah, it was a pretty cool night. Got to talk with some people, met some new people, some media people, some people that work for Yamaha, other things. I saw Byron Velvick there, like with a hat on, no visor, the backpack. He was like all like, seemed like he didn't want to be there, and he was like grumpy. And but yeah, a lot of familiar faces there. Overall, a lot of good energy there, good vibe. There was music down on the field. That's where they ended the weigh-in for the Pro-Am, which Mullins and his Pro-Am partner won with like 18 pounds on Lake Douglas on like a, I don't know, they fished for like 4, 5, 6 hours maybe. Yeah, I think there was pretty good little crowd there for that. I don't know how much I didn't really get to watch too much of that. I watched a little bit of it online. I was too busy kind of at the media day doing some other stuff while I was uploading some content in my room at the house before we went to the other thing. I did watch a little bit of the stream. Seems like they caught a lot of fish, a lot of limits. So from that percent, pretty good. Douglas, I mean, last year they had really bad winds on a Texas lake, and it was tough for anglers to catch. I think most of the teams caught limits, which was cool. And I am trying to star some of these comments and stuff, questions as we get into it. Yeah. So yeah, Taylor from Iowa was there one day. I think he was there Friday. He was at LBL Live, having a good time, getting pictures with Christine Fisher. And yeah, so media day, we ended there, went out to dinner, got back to the house, got to back to the house at a pretty decent time, got rested up for the first day of competition at the house. And yeah, there you go. So there's I definitely I could try to shout out all the people that I met, but yeah, I think you caught me when I was walking around with Kyle Patrick right there, and we said hi, and I had some stickers, limited quantities, but I handed out what I had. Yeah, I appreciate everybody that stopped me and said hi. And yeah, so Friday morning, day one, we went down to the takeoff. It was a little chilly. It was like 30 degrees. My hand got really cold. My media badge got me down on the dock, so I went live on TikTok. That was pretty well received, and got to see some of the anglers. Got to interview. Got to talk to them. Get the vibe down there, and that was cool. You know, there's always a lot of energy on day one of the Classic. The way they all line the river in Knoxville is really cool. You get a lot of energy if you're up there. And then when you get down on the dock and see all the people up on the bridges and on the levels and everything like that, it is pretty cool to see that. And just a lot of people cheering and there, and a lot of people tuning in to watch that on the internet and in person. Even though it was cold, there was thousands and thousands of people down along Volunteer Landing, and as far as you could go down the walkway on both sides of that. We'll definitely get to that, David, for sure. So we went back to the house, cleaned up. I think I ran into Jermaine, Mainstream Fishing, down in the morning. There was a bunch of other people definitely there as well. We went back, had a quick breakfast. We went to the show early, having an exhibitor and a media badge. Got in early, helped set up some stuff at the booth. Ran around and hit up some of the stuff. So I definitely got some stuff at the show on Friday. We'll save some of that towards the end. Maybe look at some of the stuff that I brought home. Yeah. I felt bad for him getting bit by the tick, not making the Classic. He was a little upset, so I got to let him hang around with us for a little bit, kind of a little bit of charity. Yeah, day one of the Classic, get there early. I did run around and got a bunch of content with my phone, did a bunch of recording of stuff at booths before they opened. I did grab a few hard to get baits before things opened in moderation. And yeah, so got a bunch of content early. I think Bass Nation rolled in at 11 and Life members. People started coming through the show, started meeting people. And then when the doors opened at noon, that place like packed out. Like it was wall to wall people from basically noon to almost 3 o'clock. You could barely get around. Every booth had people in it talking, even in the hard to get spaces like where Brendan was hiding in the closet. Although he said he's coming out of the closet next year in Hartwell. But I already kind of walked through almost everything except for the second building in the morning beforehand. And yeah, once that kind of got up, I didn't spend as much time walking around, kind of hunkered down in the Powerhouse booth, learning the busy times, and then kind of ran around later in the day, because it's typically after about 3 o'clock, people start shuttling their way to the weigh-in. So that's kind of thing. And we talked about in the pre-show with Debo and the planning, right? Like if you really want to access pros, you want to get your best shopping done, you won't want to fight the crowds, those last 2 to 3 hours each day are prime time during the weigh-in to do some of that stuff. So yeah, there's kind of a debate going on in chat here about like limiting practice. And so yeah, it goes off limits for the Classic basically January 1st. The anglers can go on the water as much as they want up to January 1st and do as much pre-practice. But from January 1st until their official practice, which is like 6 days before the Classic or something like that, or that week before, they get 3 days, and then they get 1 day before media day. But that really hasn't changed much. It's the same for everybody. Yes. Dylan and several other anglers. Easton was up there. I bet you Trey McKinney was up there. I bet you JT Tompkins was up there. A lot of guys were up there a lot in November and December scouting and things like that. So it's yes, they talked about Dylan, but there was tons of other guys that put plenty of time up there pre-practicing. It wasn't just Dylan. And all the anglers had that. If you're a professional angler, you all had access to do that. Now, you could say maybe it's a bigger disadvantage for maybe the the Bass Nation guys that have real jobs, maybe some of the Opens guys that don't fish full time, but like most of these elite anglers are full time. They have just as much access to go up there just as early. It's an off limits. It's the classic off limits has been the same for a long time, basically from January 1st up until the tournament. As far as I remember, as long as I can remember, that's been the off limits for the classic. That's been that way for at least 10 years. And then it would have been no information during the off limits. So no information January. Well, this classic still would have been under the no information rule. So once they announced the classic and you qualified, you would be prevented to get information. Exactly. Well said, Clay. Yeah, so day one of the classic, I stayed there pretty late. Helped out kind of till almost not quite close booth time. I think Kyle Patrick and I left at about maybe 5 o'clock and went back to the house. Got like a $9 Uber back to the house. Kind of got ready. I took a nap, uploaded some content, had some pizza when the other guys got home, and then I went to Luke Duncan's thing, and that was a good time. It was loud, a little louder than this old man wanted to listen to, but most people were having a good time. The music was pretty good. They could have dialed in their sound system a little bit, probably at the bar, but it did a good job. The Fat Rascals, Luke, there was a lot of people there. I stayed there quite a long time. Met several people there that walked up to me, some that I know, some I didn't know. Taylor was there. Ralph came out there. He had a good time. He got to meet Christine Fisher and got to meet Luke and got to meet Gussie. Josh Douglas was there. A couple guys from Skeeter. I'm definitely missing people. Scott Canterbury was there. Wesley Strader was there. Scott Browning. Is it Scott? No. Is it Browning? Stephen Browning was there. There's probably a couple other guys too that I'm missing, but yeah, plenty of industry folks, plenty of people, fans, young. I mean, like kids that look like they were barely old enough to drink to people much older than me there taking it all in. Yeah, Brendan's there. He had his booth. Got to talk to him at the expo. I didn't really see him out and about. Dustin, you got I saw Dustin there. You pre-fishing? You on him, Dustin? He's down at Pickwick at the TBF National Championship. I don't know. Do they start tomorrow? But yeah, stayed out till probably midnight at Luke Duncan's thing. Headed home after that. I was up to go to the takeoff. Nobody else was up to go to the takeoff on day 2. So ended up just getting that was the one time that on Saturday morning at Expo time, there was a surge charge. What was like an $8 to $10 Uber drive was a $4 Uber drive. I didn't go there early on Saturday. Got there kind of maybe a half hour before the show opened. Walked around, got a little more content. Went and shot all the bass boats in the whole expo on Saturday morning. Talked to a few more people, but once that 10 o'clock hit, that place filled up like that. Saturday was super busy from like 10 to 3 again. 5 hours of like wall-to-wall people. Yeah, I had a good time at Luke's thing. It seemed like the people there Saturday, I'm trying to think, just a ton of people. My booth, so the Powerhouse booth was really close to Tatto and Tacklecraft, so I kind of got to walk out and see them. I was funneling people there to get the classic t-shirts, which I don't have here because I think I put it in the laundry because I wore it a couple times and it's dirty, so I don't have my classic t-shirt here, but I did get a TK's classic t-shirt. Was pretty sweet. For those that haven't seen it, I could probably pull up a picture on my phone. Try to show it off here. Un momento, por favor. And I think he sold out of shirts. There was definitely people that were like, well, this is way better than the stuff that Bassmaster's selling. So that's the image on the back of the shirt there. I can get to focus here, but it's basically the Knoxville golden sphere, but it's shaped like a koike or koike and a largemouth bass. And then, yeah, that's the back of the shirt. So it's pretty cool. And yeah, plenty of people from the Midwest in Canada for sure. At the Classic, people from all over. All right, we got a update from Dustin here. Dustin says, I'm in 29th, 6th in his division, only had 4 a day for 14.9. First is 29, so they sacked him. Yeah, right on. Well, just good luck. Bear down and do what you do and fish confident and enjoy it. Pickwick's a fun place. Yeah, I was. We'll touch on that when I talk about my on the water experience. I'll star that tips for calling for BFLs for later once we cover kind of the classic Mason. Yeah, so where was that? So yeah, Saturday in the morning running around and then kind of meeting people. Was it 11:30? We kind of did a meetup with Debo at the Pradco booth, and Bass Geek was there, and those guys from Michigan, Average Anglers, were there. A couple other people came by. So got to see some people there hanging out. We called it the Pradco booth, which a lot of people seem to have gotten confused by the Pradco booth because Pradco owns Great Lakes Finesse and Yum and Booyah, and they didn't have any signage for Pradco. So I guess that was a little too much inside baseball for me. Should have said, well, let's meet at the Yum booth or the anyways. But some people found it. There was people that hung out, got pictures with Debo and myself and a few other people. And so that was a cool place to meet up and hang out for about an hour. What's up, Devin? And yeah, and when you're at the show, like the Powerhouse booth for the most part had TV streaming, the live coverage, a lot of other booths did. So you could kind of get pieces of it. It's not hard to sit and watch it, but you can kind of watch what was going on. And the first day, right, we got to see East and Fothergill like catching those big smallmouth Carolina rigging, which looked like a big 7-inch sock Amada. He did say that it was a Strike King scented jerk shad or Z2, which I don't think it was. It looked a lot like a sock, but that was cool to see the first day again. Easton, they got a lot of good coverage by having a live camera on him, and you got to see that. And didn't go to the weigh-in on day one, but seems like the people enjoyed that. The crowds were really big. I mean, the crowds, I would say, felt about as big as they did last time in Knoxville. They definitely felt bigger than Ray Roberts or Tulsa. But yeah, Saturday was crazy busy. Most of the vendors I talked to on Saturday and Friday had good shows. They were pleased with the traffic. They were pleased with the engagement, pleased with the sales. I didn't spend a lot of time looking at the Allisons. I kind of did a quick run by. I didn't have time to really get into each single boat because I kind of didn't go back Sunday to the expo. But yeah, that happened more times than not for sure. Like passing on escalators or passing in crowded hallways, and sometimes I would see the same people 5-6 times, and some people I'd see them once and never see them again. So but yeah, I think I stayed till the bitter end, watched the end of the weigh-in at the Powerhouse booth. So we were there till 6 o'clock on Saturday night. We went out, grabbed a little dinner. Southern Grit was really good. If you're looking for a restaurant in Knoxville, Southern Grit was really good. And then we tried to walk to the Ike's thing. We got to the door and saw some people I knew there. We were about to go in. There was some other people coming out that said it was kind of loud and there was a $10 cover, and we ended up like meeting another group and going out and go sitting at a hotel bar and having a couple drinks, and Frank Scalish was there, and Frank Jr. and a couple other people. We just kind of hung out and had a real quiet evening in a hotel lounge until I don't know. Then probably went back to the house and probably stayed up till I think I went to bed at 1:30 on Saturday night. And then, but earlier that night at like 6 o'clock, I got a text saying my request to do a media ride along was approved, and my assignment was Caleb Hudson. So I didn't know until, so I got my stuff before we went to dinner together, like my rain gear and what I was going to wear, and borrowed a life jacket from Kyle Patrick, and got my camera and anything I was bringing into a little arsenal bag for Sunday. And sorry for a little sniffling. I might got picked up a little bit of a head cold from shaking 5,000 people's hands at the show. But so yeah, I was not smart enough to go to bed early. I was up till 1:30 and then got up at 5 o'clock to go down to the landing and get ready for a ride along. So I brought a real small little arsenal bag and a life jacket, my rain gear, wore that, and had a GoPro and my phones and some chargers and things like that, and some snacks. And yeah, it was pretty efficient. They had you lined up there in the morning, and as the anglers came through, you just hopped in their boat and they threw a lunch for you and the angler in and some waters, and they had drivers there to drop you in, and off we go. And so got to idle around in the dark a little bit with Caleb Hudson on the way over to the takeoff, and yeah, got to chat with him. I had talked to him at Media Day as well. Did some video work with him, and he was like 22nd out of 25 going into day 3, so he didn't have a lot of pressure. He could really pretty much only move up. And Caleb Hudson definitely did not throw a frit side at all. I don't think he even had a crankbait on his deck that I remember. I've gotten more of it. I put a little reel together of some of his fish catches, and I got some photos and stuff that I'll probably publish of like some of his lures and stuff like that. But I went live a little bit on YouTube, walking around the dock. I was definitely a little tired. I definitely was not on my AA game with 4 hours of sleep on a long week. But we kind of went around and interviewed some people on YouTube. You can go back and watch the YouTube replay where I talked to several anglers if you kind of want to catch the vibe on that. And I guess that it's like, everybody was positive. The fans, everybody at the expo. I never talked to one person that was like, this sucks, or, they're cheating or any of that kind of stuff at all. So, but there you go. Yeah, I wish I would have done that on day 1 or 2. Got some good biscuits, but yeah. So we took off. We were about 22, and it was like a 45-minute ride down the Tennessee River through Fort Loudon to Lake Tellico, where he spent most of his day fishing. Caleb had a pretty good day 1. Only caught 4 fish on day 2. So he had kind of slipped a little bit, didn't have a lot of pressure, could pretty much only move up. And he had basically maybe 8 rods on the deck. He had like 4 spinning rods on one side, which were basically like a Neko, a 17 miller Koike, and 2 minnows, basically is what he had. He had like the baby mooch and then like a 4.5-inch Sakamata. And on the other side, he had a spinnerbait, a full cast Koike on a bait caster, a jerk bait, and maybe one other thing that he didn't throw. Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really plan it, so it was kind of a spur of the moment thing. Yep, classic cold. I feel that. And yeah, so he on his first stop, he caught 2 or 3 short or a couple smallmouth and some drum on a little current break, kind of shallow staging area, mostly on a 4.5-inch sock. He did throw a little bit of other baits there. We didn't spend a lot of time there. He got into maybe a second or third area where he was like one of his better areas, and the school seemed to have kind of disappeared. He did get one good bite on the 17 millimeter koiki, which he was throwing on a spinner rod in a pretty light setup. He was kind of fishing. I would say most of his bites came in like 2 to 4 feet of water. And he bounced that one off the side of the boat trying to boat swing it twice. You can see that in the Instagram reel I posted. And then he caught some other shorts on that, on the minnow in that area. And then he went to an area and the place he wanted to fish, there was a lot of wind and pollen, and he didn't like how that was setting up. So he kind of moved around in the pocket, found another hump. He ended up catching 3 in like 10 or 15 minutes. He caught a 2.5, a 2, and a 1 3/4 smallie, all on the 17 millimeter koiki. And then he ran some other water, and he was seeing fish, and he missed a few and caught a few shorts, but went through a big time lull. He did occasionally pick up the jerkbait and spinnerbait every now and then. Kind of largely 80-90% of the day he was rotating between a koiki and a minnow, either the little mooch or the 4.5-inch sakamata and the koiki. And later in the day, he did pick up a nice 2.5-pound largemouth on the baby mooch. He missed a couple other bites. He started running some new water in Loudon towards the end of the day, and was seeing some fish and getting some fish to react. And he caught some short largemouth and caught some drum, but never put that 5th fish in the boat. And he kind of pushed the time a little too long, and he ended up being 5 minutes late. So he only had like 4 fish for, I don't know, 8 or 9 pounds, and then was 5 minutes late. Luke, my favorite skip jig is a 3/8 ounce Bass Tech tungsten skip flipping jig. But so I will say that the river part is very river, and then once you get a little ways down the river, it becomes, I think, Fort Loudon. And then it, like, you start to see the big houses, and when you get down into Loudon and into Tellico, that lake is lined with big houses with sweet boat docks, and there's no shortage of money on Fort Loudon and Tellico. It's very, very beautiful. And things are pretty inexpensive. Yeah, like beers were only like $4 at Luke Duncan's thing. So it's a pretty cool place. I wouldn't mind actually going fishing there. It was really good to do the ride along, because I don't feel like, when they go to Grand and Gunnersville and Hartwell and places like that, I feel like I understand how the lake's set up and what they're fishing and what it looks like. But I always felt like the Knoxville Classic, I didn't really understand it. And doing this, like running 45 minutes down the lake and seeing where people were fishing and how it was fishing, I much have a better appreciation for the fishery. So beautiful day. It was pretty modestly warm. It was kind of like a little bit overcast, a little bit cloudy, but warm. And so I didn't get cooked out in the sun for the first time. And yeah, overall, good experience. Yeah, hit the thumbs up. Much appreciated. Yeah, got over 100 people watching, so that's cool. But yeah, everything, for the most part, super positive. Had a good time. I rode with Caleb. They hooked us. They took us out of the water, hooked us up, threw us in the back of the Tundra. We rode over to the weigh-in. I got my stuff out of the boat. I walked into the media room. I did the weigh-in, got some more interviews, watched the final moments of the Bassmaster Classic from the the media room, and walked out for the kind of a little bit of the final crowning moment there. I was too tired to get my phone in a proper position to get a good video of that. But got a few more interviews. And then once Dylan, I tried to get Easton and a couple, like Patrick Walters and Drew Cook, had to go straight to the MPFL, so they got right out of there. Didn't get a chance to talk to them. But the energy was good. A lot of positivity. The arena was rocking. The media was good. The anglers, for the most part, I mean, some of them like they were close. Like Trey McKinney, obviously seemed like he was disappointed that he got another second in a row. But yeah, a lot of positivity, a lot of vibes. I didn't get a sense from the other anglers that anything negative. So I got out of there. I didn't stay for the press conference. Went and grabbed dinner with my Uncle Marty and Brian from Intune and Raina, and then Nick Trim joined us for dinner with his wife Vanessa. We had a nice dinner in kind of a little square in Knoxville. Got to sit next to the Shills from Minnesota that said hi at the restaurant. Ran into other people walking around. Got to bed a little earlier on Sunday night, and yeah, got to the airport. Marty gave me a ride. Got there. Had to sit on the runway for 2 hours at Knoxville on Monday morning because for some reason they didn't want to refuel the plane when there was lightning. I guess that's the thing. They don't want to blow up like the whole thing. But got a much needed plane nap waiting for takeoff. Was a little sleep deprived over the Classic week. Got back yesterday and kept posting content and getting caught up. But yeah, overall, even the people that were tired at the airport, people I talked to that landed in Minneapolis, everybody had a really great time in Knoxville. And yeah, that's kind of the story. Let's see what other questions did I go here. We'll definitely look at the stuff I bought here in a second. Yeah, we definitely bought some stuff. We'll get to that in one moment. Scott Martin left because he was pushing the information rules and got caught too many times, and it was easier to bow out than and obviously he probably makes more money on YouTube and all the other things. He didn't really need the Elite Series. I don't know if they killed the mean mouth, but I do know that the whatever they call the Tennessee version of DNR did take the mean mouth, smallmouth. I did talk to Gene Gillian a little bit about this. So Tennessee only recognizes largemouth, smallmouth, and spotted bass, and this is definitely some kind of hybrid, whether it's a hybrid Alabama, smallmouth, whatever it is. There is no classification for it, so I don't know that it will be any kind of record. It is probably a record for what it is, but I don't think they classify any records according to Gene Gillian, who's the Bassmaster biologist. Thank you, Luke. I'm glad you liked the interviews at the Classic. But I don't know if that fish lived or what happened to it. Sunday in the boat was cool. We just talked about that. Yep. Talked to the guys at Willie Pete's, as well as Juice. They were selling out of baits for sure. I didn't bring my stickers down. Willie Pete's had the best sticker. They had a little sticker that's like a little round one that said, "I love my little Willie." So I got some of those. Let's see here. Let's get some more questions. Yeah, we got stickers. Trey's definitely going to keep putting in his time. He's going to probably win one. Yep. I was joking with Caleb. I was like, there's got to be some non-endemic sponsors right around here somewhere. I think we should do some door knocking because it looked like there's no shortage of them. It's like a long, skinny Minnetonka. Okay, so maybe it's going to the Bass Pro Shops. Yeah, it kind of sounds like they think it's maybe like a Alabama spotted bass cross, which if you think back to those biologists we had on maybe last year and talk about how this is bad for fisheries, that's like a first gen cross, and then as they keep crossing, then the genetics get washed out. And yeah, glad you guys that didn't make it appreciated the coverage and interviews. Let's take a 1 minute break and let's dive into the tackle, and then let's queue up some more questions about maybe anything I didn't cover that you guys got questions about the expo, the weigh-ins, the media day, anything. Let me know. Let's do that when I come back.
Are you ready to reel in your next home purchase or refinance? Supreme Lending's Dream Team can help guide you through the entire mortgage process, from pre-qualification to closing. We have a wide variety of home loan programs in our tackle box, including down payment assistance and first-time homebuyer options. You can ask HellaBass. He trusted us to help finance his home. Contact the Dream Team today by searching Supreme Lending Dream Team or click the link below in the description or scan the QR code on your screen.
All right, shout out to Aaron Dagus and the Dream Team supporting the channel. If you're looking to do any new purchases or refinance, definitely give him a shout. I'm actually going to his St. Jude fundraiser at the Park Tavern in St. Louis Park tomorrow. So if anybody's in that area and wants to go watch some basketball games and supporting the St. Jude fundraiser, let me know. All right, this is a good question, Carol. Who would you consider the best interview? Who was the worst? And was there anyone you missed? Best interview. Laker Hall is really good. He's got a good energy. He's got a good personality. I don't know if he's the best, but he's one that I remember for sure as just kind of like a lot of good energy, big presence on the camera, spoke well. But I mean, most of the guys are pretty good, pretty open. Some guys are funnier than others. I got another montage. You know how I did the Mercer Ronnie thing. I did a little different thing this year, like essential things in the boat or fishing equipment you can't live without. And there's some pretty funny answers in that from guys like Seth and Jordan Lee and things like that. So more to come there. I don't know any of them that were worst or the bad. I hate to say it. Austin Felix was the worst. Austin was not in a good Austin mood when I talked to him, and he was just kind of rambling. I don't know that I could use anything on the video that I recorded with you, Austin. I'm sorry if you're watching, but you weren't on your A game for interviews when I stopped at your boat. Anyone I missed? Oh, man, it did get a little busy. There's probably a few anglers that I would have liked to chat it with. It just gets to be a lot of competition because there's a lot of camera people, a lot of people video, and then the fans come in. And so hour and a half goes by super fast when you're trying to do that kind of stuff. And then you start having side conversation with other camera people, media people, things like that. Yeah, I think mean mouths and Alabama hybrids can reproduce, and that's why they drown out the genetics. But I am not a biologist. AJ did not come. I think he was busy staying home painting baits for St. Jude. That's why I decided not to come to the Classic. I did not stop at the Abo booth. I don't know the answer to that question. I don't know if they came out with their DC reels at the expo. I stopped by Lou's and Daiwa. He is a big kid, no doubt. It's hard to believe that he came from Randy because Randy is closer to a jockey than a linebacker. He could be a bachelor, maybe. I did not wait in line for Wheeler and Cannell. I will say when I stopped at Willie Pete's booth, Wheeler came in there and was like checking out the glides and checking out Juice's hair jigs and things like that. And I think actually Wheeler bought one of Willie Pete's new bluegill glides. So I didn't talk to Wheeler, but I was standing right next to him, listening to him have an interaction about glide baits at Willie Pete's booth. And I saw him a few times. And when he was doing that, he was walking around with his wife, maybe on the way to another booth. Yeah. I did see, Drew Cook obviously is the biggest name for Dobbins on the elites. Chase Clark, who is an Opens winner. The Dylan guy from Tennessee, Flowerdew. I didn't see any Dobbins stickers or anything on his boat or on his jersey, but his deck was fully Dobbins. Anyone that I meet that I really wanted to, I would say it was mostly, I got to meet Debo in person, right? It's weird that there's a lot of people that I have talked to online and through conversations and chats and live that I feel like I know, but I've never actually met them in person. So it was cool to meet Debo in person. Bateman was supposed to come stay with us. I have still not met Bateman. I've been talking to him online since like 2019, 2020, and I still have not met him in person. His daughter got sick. He couldn't make it. He was supposed to stay at the house with us. But the guy from The Current, Jake Bagwell from TikTok, met some of the guys from Best on Tour. yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm always running into new people or just people that you only know on the internet and you get to actually shake their hand in person or get to shake the hands of anglers that have been past guests. So that's cool. He wasn't. I think sometimes he was wearing his jersey and sometimes he wasn't, depending on what he was doing and what appearance and what booth he was doing. Yeah. Jermaine is tall. I already knew that though. Yeah. But yeah, let's see what other before we get in the baits here. So tips from co-anglers to the BFLs. Go there to learn and have fun. And if you catch fish, that's just a bonus. That's the best way to appreciate or approach co-anglers for BFLs. The Sakamata, I think, is a good bait because of its design and the softness of the plastic. Both. But there's also a lot of good non-JDM minnows. Like the hinge minnow. Yeah, that was Jaron Clinch from Wisconsin. He did that all to get attention for his TikTok and his YouTube channel. Well played. Yeah, Kevin's awesome. Yeah, just be nice to meet him in person. I brought him his baits that he bought for me, and he wasn't there. Yeah, I don't think there's many guys not going to the Classic anymore like there was like 3-4 years ago. Unless you just don't have any obligations from your sponsors that don't want you to be there, most of them are there. So what did I get? So we got all this stuff. And all this stuff. You want to start with the bag or the box? What do we think? Bag or box? I don't know. I didn't. The Duckett booth, you should ask Tacklecraft. He was right next to Duckett. Who's going to Red Crest? Not me. All right. So we'll just start with obvious things here. I grabbed one of these from the Key booth and the other one from the Spro booth. So this is the full cast. This is the 17 millimeter Koike. And I just wanted to make sure I had one of each so I could compare these to some of the other options. I got a lot of the Hags that I've got in other places. So the Hag 19 millimeter is kind of right between the full cast and the 17 millimeter. The 17 millimeter is what Caleb Hudson largely threw almost all day, or the majority of the day. And I will say, even as like a 1.75 pound smallmouth had no problem like getting this thing way back in its throat. They both, I've taken them out of the package. I'm going to do like a separate video, but from what I can tell, the material and the make of these two baits seem really similar. More testing to come on that. But I wanted to have a couple of the $21 versions to compare to the $7 version so I could do a better analysis for you guys and share more information. The Hags, I don't remember seeing if anybody had the Hags at the Classic. I'm guessing some of them did. I did. I saw them. They were selling for $8 at the Classic. These were selling for basically 21, and they limited to how many you could buy. I bought one each from each of those. Mike, I'll have a video on how to rig them, but basically Caleb rigged his much like how I showed or how you've seen. Basically, he put, he would take a little tungsten nail weight, like these Arsenal Pagoda nail weights, and put it through, right, the hole that it like comes in on the package, and then would take a treble hook, like a number 2, number 3 treble hook, and just hook one tine into the plastic. And that's how he fished it, basically like a Nico wacky rig. But we'll get into more depth on that at a different time. For you, we'll do a full rigging video. Yeah, I got the Hags jigs. We'll be trying those soon. I had those before the Classic. Should the Classic size Expo stand alone with the Classic, without the Classic, or is Redcrest proof of that? I think it all goes together. I think if you had that big of it, I don't think you'd, I'm sure people would go up, but I don't think people would travel as far or wide for that show, but I could be wrong. All right, so this isn't necessarily something I bought, but this is something I got. They are very durable. So, yes, this bait that Caleb threw all day, he caught 3 keeper smallmouth, bounced another one off the boat. So let's just call catching 4 keeper smallmouth. He probably caught another 6 or 8 short largemouth or smallmouth, and probably caught another 6 or 8 drum. And the bait looked like it was still ready to go. He said he started using one at the beginning of the week in practice. So I think he basically fished 7 days and only lost 1, and that's because he hung it up. So I think potentially these things are, you can almost consider these a hard bait as long as you don't hang them up as far as durability. So these are from BBC, Brendan Brown. He had a booth there with his custom balsas, a nice little wood box here, and we got this little flat side square bill here. And so this was hand carved, painted by Brendan Brown, and he donated this to the St. Jude auction. So watch for future St. Jude auctions. Follow along. I'll be talking about on here. I'll post pictures in the community board. I'll also be talking about Facebook and places like that. So that is a sweet little blue craw. Clay, could you crank that? Would you crank this hog, Clay? So he donated that one. Yep, I stopped at Brendan's before they even opened. Did a little video there. And then here's another one, a little bit different shaped lip in this one, but more of a classic kind of faded chartreuse blue kind of dolphin color. So these will both be, I don't know if I like these wood chips that are falling all over my lap, Brendan. I don't know, like these little balsa chips are kind of a mess. But so these, I'll have to decide whether those should go up as individuals or as a set for St. Jude. But I expect those to do very well and raise a lot of money for St. Jude. And Brendan does not give those baits away, and he spends a lot of time and hours into those. So I'm very honored that he was going to donate those to St. Jude. My next whatnot, I don't remember what it's scheduled for. Probably only going to do one more here in March before the season's over. I don't know if it's scheduled for this weekend. If not, then it might get moved out because I have a trip to Mexico coming up. It's currently scheduled for Friday, March 27th. So 2 weeks. I don't know if that's going to work. I got to change that. I'm going to be in Mexico for that. That's not going to be accurate. So I got one out there. You can go bookmark it. It's going to probably change. Yeah, we're going to be fishing soon. So, yep. But it hasn't. It hasn't ruined the last 3 classics. Classics have been amazing events. But you can continue. You can argue whether it's good for the sport or whether you enjoyed personally watching it, but it didn't ruin the classics. The classics have been wildly successful. Anyways. All right. So next, I'm just in no particular order here. Metro Glide from Throwback. Keep it classy. Comes with a sticker. So I went with this guy here, which is kind of like a shad crappie pattern. This is the throwback Metro Glide. I mean, there is talk on whether front-facing sonar will be part of the next Classic or not, to be determined. But the Classic will still be a giant event, front-facing sonar or not. So I went with this guy. It does come with trebles and split rings in the box, but throwback soda, pretty popular glide baits. So I bought one of those at the show. Did a little interview with Doug. They seemed like they were pretty pleased with the show. They were happy with how it went, and then basically they donated a second one for St. Jude. So we'll have a St. Jude Metro or a throwback baits Metro Glide as part of the St. Jude auctions. So if you've been meaning to get one of these, we'll be running one of these for St. Jude. So I thought that was a good neutral pattern. That could be a crappie, could be a shad, should be a fish catcher everywhere. Yeah, exactly. It could be, if you want to imitate bluegills and perch, you want to imitate crappies, you want to type shad, I feel like it's a very natural, just bait fish pattern. Are you talking about you, Dustin? The Metro is a good, I haven't fished it, but I'm excited. Yeah, I think MLF coverage, it's all personal preference. But yeah, we'll see. What I've just heard rumblings. I don't have any. Some anglers feel like there's nothing changing. Other anglers feel like there will be changes. So got a couple of these Dobbins at the GSM booth. They had these Dobbins koozies that were like Knoxville inspired with like the I forget the gingham or the checkerboard. So I got a couple of these. Maybe I got enough of these that I can throw one of these into like the giveaway night for the live stream. So maybe we'll see if I end up sharing one of those or not. So I don't have a really good perception of how the coverage went, because when you're at the expo, you catch pieces of it. You're not just watching it over and over and over again. So I'm not going to comment and pretend like I know how good or how wasn't. I think I only got 2. I should have grabbed more. But I did send some extra stuff in your box for you from the Classic, Brian. I guess this wasn't from the Classic, but it's in this bag. I bought the they did have these down there, but I pre-ordered it. This is the Galapagos 240 in it's called Carpe Diem is the color, but this is Noah Schultz custom color. The Grace 240, which this is a 2-jointed bait, but it's still a glide. A lot of good talk about this, and Noah Schultz and Aaron Teal and a few others. So excited. I got 2 of these now, one a different color, but this is the Noah Schultz color, and it's kind of got like a built-in orange tracer head on it. What do Spot Hunter, Burning Season, and Swimming School have in common? They all make outlandish comments without proof and unbiased, and there's no proof to what they're saying either. All right, keeping it moving. Got a rod glove in my Bass Nation bag. Always use these. Lose them. Mercury towel that was in the Bass Nation bag. So I did stand in line and get the signed number 7 Spook. That's signed by Matt and Frank Scalish. I got this to put in the St. Jude raffle. So it's got Matt Prangrack, BTL on the bottom, and then it's got Frank Scalish on the top. And it's got the number 7. So this is the color, the custom color that Frank did It's kind of a homage to Mark BTL. So that'll be part of the St. Jude auction. Pretty cool spook topwater bait. So I did stand in line for a little bit to get that for the St. Jude auction. I did ask Pangrack, as Frank was signing the bait, would it be more valuable to St. Jude with or without your signature Matt Pangrack? And he thought that was pretty funny. I got my media badges and my Bass Nation badges in the bag. Not that exciting. Couple things that I bought. So Real Deal Tackle had a couple exclusive colors they did with some of the GSM brands. So this is their Nicarama 7-inch Real Deal Gill. So it still keeps the matte finish that a lot of the Nicarama worms have from Big Bite Baits. And I actually fished the Nicarama a little bit last year on a Nico rig. And it is a really good Nico worm. I don't know if you can see the color here, how well it's going to show up. But it's basically a green pumpkin, bluegill kind of laminate and kind of a matte finish. And they do have some more of these on the Real Deal Tackle if you want to order them. And that's the only place they're basically exclusive color for Real Deal Tackle. I don't really have enough preference in glide bait fishing to know whether I like the solid or the brush tails. I haven't really, but yeah, I mean, it just seems like a fish catching color. So I grabbed 2 bags of those for personal use. So 2 bags of the Real Deal Gill. You can check those out on Real Deal Tackle if you want to grab them. They still had some left at the end of the Classic. Colby, what's going on? Haven't seen you in a while. Hope you're doing well, getting out fishing in Utah. Let's see here. And then they also had that color in Yamamoto Senkos, which are also, I think, still available at the Real Deal Tackle. So you can see the Senko color. It's not all that different than the but no, I don't know. Grab 2 bags of those. So some of the Real Deal Senkos. And then so the Hog Farmer has a light wire Minnesota rig that they don't talk about a ton, but is able to get one of those. So this, for those who don't know, a Minnesota rig is basically an Alabama rig. Yeah, it looks kind of like, I can see green pumpkin, blue flash zoom. Yeah, that sounds about right. So this is a finesse A rig with only 1 hook and all blades. So the Minnesota rig only has 1 hook to be legal. And yeah, so I got one of those. Shout out to Hog Farmer. They actually would not take my money and gave it to me. So thank you. Shout out to them. You can. I did a video on this where he talks about this, and if you want to check it out, go ahead. It's on probably everywhere but YouTube at this point. And then somehow I ended up with a couple. I think these were in the Bass Nation bags. A couple of sample bags of kind of miscellaneous Senkos. So that's the bag. So we go to the throw them at, yeah, PVC posts, sure. So we got this box because this is the box that seems to be like the best option for holding the urchin baits. All right, so we did get some of the classic color. Right, this is the what do they call it? SS Pearl Ore, right? That's the classic color. So the Megabass Karashi 80 in the classic color, the Pop Max in the classic color, and the 110 in the classic color. Let's get those up so the YouTube people can see them a little better here. So got a couple of those each. I also grabbed the Megabass Karashi 80 in H2 Ito Wakasaki. So we got a couple of these 80s. This is albino pearl SB. So similar to the classic colors, similar to Morning Dawn. AJ, as a painter, I guess you're classified to have an opinion. I grabbed a couple of the matte shad. Karashi 80s. Some of this may end up on Whatnot. We will see. There's receipts. I did grab one of the Missile Baits stupid fishball or whatever they call it. Stupid little fishball. This is probably the jankiest packaging. It's like this cheap plastic box. Sorry. With a bent up paper clip. They were selling these for $10. This thing is not elastomer. This is just a high durometer, like poly or plastisol. So we'll see how durable this is. But like the uni is elastomer. This is like a high durometer plastic, from what I can tell. Not a super stretchy material. Like, you could pull those arms off. Now, it's a pretty tough and rigid, but it is definitely not as tough as the elastic. So, I don't know if the fishball is going to be that great, but I did grab one just to test it out and see what it was about. I was going to get the G-Rat version, but I forgot. The new T-Key bait, we got to save the best for last. So, have they run out of the Karashi 80s at the other retailers yet or not? The uni is, I don't know how to define a hard or soft elastomer, but I mean, I don't know how to define that. What makes it a hard or a soft elastomer? But it definitely is elastomer. All right. I think a new Dobbin sticker. We got another Tato. This will be Tato Eon number 3. Will the Koiki be the best bed fishing bait on the market? It could be good. So I have always been a fan of this paint job that TK does, which is his dead shad. But this time he put the cracked scales on his dead shad. So this was a swim bait that I just had to have. Like, I really wasn't planning to buy a Tato Eon this year, but I had to have that color. For me, it makes me feel sexy. And if it makes you feel sexy, you should get it. So we got a Tato Eon in the 6-inch with Tacklecraft special paint for the Classic. It's probably the thing I'm most excited about. And then I got 2 of TK's new. Oh boy, down goes the box. Ah. All right, so we got 2 of TK. So this is probably the most unique bait that I've seen in quite a bit of time. Will it catch fish? Hopefully. Is it going to be a game changer? I don't know. So I don't have the hook for it yet. I still got to get those. I probably could have planned ahead and got the correct hooks, but I don't have them handy. And I'll do a better demonstration on this, but this is a spinning, a hard plastic minnow, kind of a resin minnow with a weighting system in these blades. And it's got a line through in the nose here. And then you seat a hook like a Shaughnessy straight, the spinner minnow, I believe is what he's been calling it. And you run the line through, you tie on your straight shank hook. I'm trying to think if I have any hook. I could use probably a Nico hook if I had one handy. My desk is a mess. I could probably use this hook here. Actually, this one right here. So this won't be the best illustration, but it'll kind of get the point across. This won't be the exact size, but be patient. See if I can get this to reverse thread. So typically you would thread the line on and then tie your hook on. Where's my cheaters? I think my cheaters are upstairs. Oh man, bait's falling all over the place. This is good TV here. Okay. Not gonna try to fight with the line anymore. This is taking too long. Anyways, so basically your straight shank hook will fit in the bait like this, and it like clips into place with this little rubber tubing, and your line will go out the front, so you'll have like a hook sitting in the body like that. So it's kind of like the Zell Dangerous line through. And then obviously when you get bit, hook pops out, like it sits in this slot, and then it's like a tail spinner in that respect. So yeah, so we got two of these in this exact same like shad bluegill color. I'm not sure why it's so hard to get the line to go in that way. It goes right through that way. I'm not sure why I'm having trouble getting it to go in from the revere to show how it works. If I'm just falling in the wrong little slot. But he definitely sold quite a few of these. Did pretty well. So yeah, I'm not I haven't fished it. More to come on that. Once I fish it, I'm sure I'll do a little video on it. But yeah, the line goes right through on the front side. And I suppose I could just cut it off and retie it. Because I can get the line to go through super easy that way. But you can see how it slides on the line. Obviously, the hook's in the wrong spot now. But so that is what I bought and what I got at the Classic. Have I missed any questions? Comments? Does everybody else think that I'm wrong and that front-facing sonar has killed the Classic and it ruined it and it diminishes everything and they're bad anglers and just ordered the Grace 240 tonight. Uh-oh. Tush getting the big swim bait. They sold out of them, and so I do not have any. I did do a video on it. That does look like a really cool bait, but I did not end up walking away from the show with any. Actually, Patrick from Rebel said he would give me some and stop back later, and I just never stopped back. But that does look, for those that fish spy baits, the Great Lakes Finesse spy bait looks really cool, and it looks like it solves some problems as far as like potentially keeping fish hooked. So I do have a video of that. I think, did I post that to YouTube or did I post that to all the other platforms? But it basically has kind of similar to this, but it's connected to the bait. It's not a line through. It has like a pop out, not a treble, but a tool hook. So it's got a tail hook a belly hook, and then kind of a pop-up top hook on the spy bait, which is cool. This, yeah, that's a good question. Probably more of a lipless bait or like a spinnerbait rod, light spinnerbait, like mini chatterbait type rod. Yeah, I mean, maybe we'll see it. Time will tell. Great Lakes Finesse has the new spy bait with the third hook on the top. It might be available online somewhere yet, but I guess they sold a pile of them, and obviously they have plans to come out with a restock, but I did not get my hand on that. But it does seem like a unique solution and update to the spy bait compared to what's out there. Oh, let's see here. Let's see if there's any questions on the TikToks that I didn't get to. I don't see any. Adapt or die. Yeah, pretty much. But I think we'll see. I don't know what the changes will be, but there'll be an evolved. Yeah, it's like a little mini frog hook out the back of the spy bait. I don't know. I don't think anybody's said anything, but I think there is debate on whether they want front facing in the Classic or not. So we'll see. Does anybody else want to join and talk about their Classic experience? I can throw that out there if anybody was there or something, or they were watching, or they want to comment. We can open it up. I'll put the link in the chat if anybody wants to. The link is in the Facebook and YouTube chat if anybody wants to talk about their viewing experience, their Classic experience. I haven't caught that many fish on spy baits, but I never lost one. But I also don't throw it that much. But if you want to join, C. Smith says first one, it was amazing. I will agree with this, that as long as they are fishing pre-spawn and they're fishing reservoirs, the front-facing sonar will be a strong player and a big factor for sure. I will not disagree with that. Yeah, we didn't talk about that, but right, this is Dylan Nutt was a Bass Nation qualifier. He went to the Pickwick qualifier, won that, went to the Bass Nation Championship in the cross that I fished, and he took third there, and then got it done. I mean, not a surprise. I picked him on my fantasy team. We saw that, and but he is a Bass Nation, so it is the first time a Bass Nation member, and only the second time ever, has won the Classic since 1994, or when it was Brian Kirchhoff, when I was like 15, something like that, 14. We did show off your baits, Brendan. So thanks that for the St. Jude. We appreciate it. I just posted a link, Brendan, if you want to join and talk about your Classic experience as a vendor. Yeah, and his brother won the College Classic the day before. First Classic, loved it. Expo on Friday, never bumped into you. Yeah, this is my fourth one. I will say the Knoxville ones were probably my two favorites. Like, it's just the best setup. And now the fishing was even better for this one. Like, this was... It's about as close to be a 10 out of a 10. It's at least a 9. It's somewhere between a 9 or a 10 out of 10 out of Knoxville, I think. How did you sell all your baits, or did you have to bring some home? BBC. Are Lou's custom elite rods any good at $180? I haven't tried them. I don't know. I've dabbled with their reels, but never dabbled with any of their rods, Grant. All right, here we go. The man, the myth, the legend with his phone vertical, classic BBC. Aren't you kids supposed to be good with tech?
I know. I'm trying to figure out how to work this. All right, I got it fixed now. All set now. Oh.
So last year in Fort Worth, you hopped in. I forget what booth it was, but you kind of brought a smattering of baits compared to this year, right? And I think, did you sell them all out the first day in Texas?
Sold all but like I think 7. And then the second day I sold those 7. So it was a lot quicker last year, but I didn't bring hardly anything.
All right, cool. We actually got another guest here. What's up, Ryan Pinkall?
We got
happy birthday.
What up? Thanks, dude.
Howdy.
Is it your actual birthday?
It actually is. Yeah.
Happy birthday.
How does it feel to be 21 now?
Oh, dude, unreal. Tried beer for the first time. Incredible.
So originally I reached out to Ryan because I wanted to get kind of his. This is good now because I think now we can I kind of went through my whole week, and obviously I go there probably 70% kind of working booths, media, and maybe 30% as a fan. And Brendan, you're probably what 80-90% working the booth exhibiting was your main role this time.
Probably.
Obviously,
I wish I had more time.
Heavily exhibiting was your main focus, and then Ryan, little bit media, but largely as a fan is my take, right?
Yeah, I mean, I was kind of just being a fish bum the whole time, because Nicole, my girlfriend, was working the expo, so I was helping them out a little bit, but to be honest, I was just kind of cruising around doing my own thing. But yes, I would say definitely more heavily on the just being there as a fan part of it for sure. Yeah.
And so Brendan Brown Bait Company, he had a booth selling his handmade balsa crankbaits, which we'll open those back up here in a little bit. And then Ryan Pinkall of the Crappie Chronicle fame,
please.
Meat Eaters. What do you know? Meat Season, right?
Yeah.
Meat Season YouTube channel, and one of the top 100 outdoor podcasts in the world.
Yeah, some say it's number 1, but who knows?
Right. It's all debate.
We'll go with number 1.
But so this was Brendan, did you went to a classic before Ray Roberts? No. So both of this was your second classic.
Yeah. I was in Texas last year. Yeah.
So Brendan, you kind of exhibited and probably did more running around last year, and this year you were kind of tied to your booth. And Pink, you kind of both bummed around as a fan on both of those.
Yeah, I'm just along for the ride on this deal. I was just zero obligations, just trying to find wherever it was going down. So yeah.
And so I guess first question, do you feel like front-facing sonar ruined either one of your guys' classics?
No. I can't say that it affected my experience in any way, whether or not they caught them one way or the other. Yeah.
Nice. And did you sell any less balsa crankbaits because of front-facing sonar, Brendan?
I don't think so. The people buying it are going to buy it anyway.
See, that's crazy though, because it seems like people are saying that it should have.
Right.
True. I feel like the crowd that are wanting balsa crankbaits and hand carved ones at that are the ones that are going to buy them regardless of what's going on.
Damn, where was this booth at? I feel like I never saw these, dude.
Well, he was kind of stocking the janitor's closet. I'm not gonna lie. Right across from where Evolution Tackle was in that hallway on the outside. You had to go into your room.
Yeah, dude, I'm sure you probably already talked about this because you guys have been on here for a while, but that place is crazy, right? It's so big, and having multiple buildings kind of blew my mind on that whole deal. I was like, dude, this is the real deal here. But I mean, because I feel like last year it was it made sense kind of how to get around and everything, but this was just free for all. Like you had no clue what was happening. You just had to just keep
Yeah, you
walking.
kind of had upstairs and downstairs last year. That was about it.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah, the little rooms
spread
thing
out.
threw me for sure.
Yeah, I had that. My first classic was there, and I had spent 2 full days last time, so I kind of knew what to expect. But yeah, you can definitely miss some things at Knoxville. That's probably the one downside that you can even possibly think about Knoxville is that the expo is a little chopped up, and they have a second building that's maybe not super obvious to go to. Did you find the second building, Pink?
Oh yeah, I found the second building, but I'm also like probably one of the worst like shoppers / someone who should take in an expo type layout thing in probably the world. Like I get like halfway through it and I just like black out. Like I don't even know what I'm looking at anymore, dude. I'm just like going. Like unless somebody stops me and like wants to talk and I'm like, where are we at now? But like every once in a while something catches your eye and then it's kind of sweet to like stop and check it out. But then I get kind of ground down and I'm just like, I just want to get through this to the next thing and just see something else. I don't know. But I did spend 3 days there. So you kind of just get in this loop of like, I'm going to walk through this and this and this, you know? So
right on.
That was my take anyway.
So you were there all 3 days at the expo.
Yeah.
Did you do any of the takeoffs or weigh-ins?
Yeah. I went to day 1 takeoff, which was sweet. And we definitely got into somewhere we should not have been allowed to go. Just like, I don't know. I think I just started like walking around until someone just like let me through some gates and stuff. And we got like our whole kind of like squad, like right up to the, like the main takeoff thing,
Railing,
which was super cool. Yeah. Cause I mean, like where they were calling off boat numbers and stuff, we were like in that, which I think was like probably not right, but, they didn't kick us out. So I took that. And then, weigh-in was cool. And I didn't go to any of that stuff on Saturday, I think. And then we got a little bit partied out on Saturday night. So I didn't go to anything on Sunday morning either. So.
And I said, did you do any of the weigh-in or takeoffs last year?
No. Well, I went to all the weigh-ins last year, but none of the takeoffs because it's so far away.
Yeah.
Like, not that you couldn't go, but it was like, I didn't want to get up at like 5 a.m. just to drive to the weigh or the takeoff, you know, like this was sweet. Cause it was like right there. I mean, it's a 10-minute walk from the expo to the takeoff on the river, which was super cool. And like the first day, I mean, I don't know if Rich, you were probably there every day, right? For the takeoff or no?
Just first and third.
Okay. Well, the first day was sweet, right? Cause it was like sweet sunrise, the whole thing. And like with the,
chilly,
like a little bit. Yeah, chilly. So like everything looked awesome. Like all those cool shots they've been posting are all I think from that first day when like it's a little bit foggy with like the exhaust, like everything just looks sweet. So I'm sure the guys with the cameras were just ripping as much as they could on that. But there was a lot of hype. I mean, there was a ton of people there. I was kind of blown away at how many people showed up for takeoff, but I had fun. I don't know. But yeah, the party thing was good. So, I mean, let alone the other stuff, but like that was well worth going just for that. So,
yeah. Positive vibes all the way around. You didn't hear a lot of complaining. People were having a good time.
Yeah. I mean, everyone was having a blast. Yeah. I thought it was great. Did you, did I run into you on Saturday night anywhere?
I don't remember seeing you on Saturday night. No.
Okay. Did you go to that boat thing?
I did not go on the boat
thing.
Oh,
dude. Yeah.
Did you go on the boat thing? The monster boat?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we got in there. Again, I think all you had to do was sit, like we just said we were friends with Blake Caps and they just let us in, which I don't know Blake at all, but like they were cool with us coming in. So there was a ton of people there, but it was pretty crazy, dude. Like that was
just
a good part.
Docked?
Yes. Yeah. It was tied up to the dock, but like we got in there and it's like, you know, the Monster Energy boat or whatever. So like, it was just like open bar, like there was like monster cocktails, everything. They had like some tattoo artists in there, just like ripping tattoos.
Seems real safe and clean.
I think they were like they were like legit. Like this wasn't like some, like, I think they were like the people from like Inked, or is that like that's like a show, right? I think it was those people, and they had like a DJ. Like it was pretty cool. But
one of them came by the booth and told me that there was free tattoos there.
There 100% were free tattoos there. Verified.
Yeah.
I just assumed it was going to be like a Love Boat thing. That's my first question was Fred Smoot there or
dude. I'm telling you, this was like like legit. I was kind of like, this might be kind of lame, but it was like totally not. Like, dude, they were just handing out Sitka rain gear on this boat.
What's up, guys? Same here.
Like, people were just like, dude, I'm for real. Like, it was crazy. But I think, and then so Dylan Nutt, the guy who like won the classic, so his brother won the college classic bracket thing.
Carter.
Carter the day before he was there. So a bunch of people were chatting him up because they were like, dude, your brother's gonna win this tomorrow. Like, that's pretty cool. And then obviously being like, dude, you just like won too. That was awesome. So that was pretty fun. But yeah, I think like the part, like the monster people were there, but then like Cooper Gallant and his like whole family were kind of like running this party. So it was good time. Yeah.
Yeah. Coop knows how to have a good time.
Yeah.
I have to say there was a lot of people there. Like the second day, like a lot more people there the second day than there was any other day. It was pretty insane. Like it was like a sea of people. It was insane.
Yeah, anywhere in that outer ring, it was just like a constant. It's like leaving or coming into a Vikings game. It's just a constant stream of people in the main hallway. Like you kind of just had to keep moving or get right next to a booth, or you were just going to get like run over.
Yeah. Dude, and so the booth I was at for like most of it was at the Lakewood booth, which was like right by the main entrance. So obviously when they like let people in, it's crazy because I think like there was obviously like all the Koike stuff or whatever everyone's like getting crazy about, but then like there must have been like other deal, like there was something people were just straight sprinting. As soon as they would open the doors, there'd be like 500 people that were just like running down that main hallway to get, I think, to the downstairs part. So I'm not totally sure what they were going for, but I was like,
swim. There's a couple things Swim Bait Universe were doing with like Oxbow swim baits and a few other things each day, each morning.
Yeah. Trashy, Oxbow, and Cormorant.
Yeah, because we'd just be talking.
So, like, so basically, those Swim Bait Universe and the Koikes were both down in that bottom room. Between those two things, they were making a dash for the escalators, and
I think people were just getting caught up in it because they'd be like running by, and we were always like, "What's everyone running for?" And people would be like, "I don't know," and they're just like still running. Like,
I'm going because that's got to be where the cool stuff is.
You just don't want to be last, you know. But yeah, I was just like, yeah, leave me out of that business. I want no part of that. So I just stayed in the booth for like the first couple hours just to let things mellow out. And then I was like, I'll go walk around now.
It's safe.
Yeah, definitely like peak casual browsing is from like 3 to 5.
Oh, yeah, dude. Yes. Yeah. Or like right as a weigh-in's about to start, like there's nobody there. Yeah.
There you go, Mac. There's the classic 110. So what did you get anything? Did you treat yourself at all, Ryan, with your birthday coming up?
I did. I didn't get too much crazy stuff. I chatted with some people off and on about just, you know, whatever fishing business related stuff, and some stuff comes out of that, but I was able to buy a handful of baits. I had like keep in mind, I had like zero room to bring anything home. So I'm like, all right, I got to like be kind of chill about this, but I did get a handful of like glide baits to try, but nothing like too crazy. I did get one of those Galapagos Grace glides.
240s?
I got the whatever the biggest one is, because we're actually
you got the big one. This
the
is
big
the
dog. Yeah.
No, did you get the 280?
Oh yeah.
Did you get this from McKee or Teals or Thorn?
Yeah, I got it from Teal,
which was right across from the booth,
like literally right in front of me. Yeah. So I got that because we're actually gonna try them for muskies, and see what we can do with that. So he wanted to kind of see if that would be something that might work, and kind of get the JDM stuff into more of like the muskie market too. And I was like, I'm down, we'll play. But I actually bought the most stuff from him. I got some of those soft Hanitas baits too, just because I thought those were sweet and I wanted to try some.
Yeah, those are pricey little guys.
Yeah, no kidding, right? So that was kind of my
from a buddy. I didn't get any for myself.
Yeah, that was kind of my splurge. And then I got some like more like inexpensive glides just to try. Some of them might suck, but I got like whatever that Hogfather one, Hogfather
Strike
Junior.
King.
Yeah, it's like a Strike King Tater Hog collab or something. And then I got one of the Livingston ones. I chatted with those guys for a long time, and I tried one of theirs out. And then I got just like a Spro KGB.
Yeah,
you know,
I've heard good things about the Toad Thumper for like reasonable price glides. I've never tried it myself, but I've heard some people say good things about that one.
Nice. Yeah, so that stuff, and then just some of that stuff Teal had. I even got some little jigs that are like potentially maybe some little crappie juice I want to try out, but he had all kinds of stuff I'd never even heard of, so I was like, yeah, all right, I'll try it.
And you spent the most time staring at it.
I did, but also
you were resting in the chairs at the Lakewood booth. You just be like
I said, I'm a bad shopper too. So once I get into a booth and I start chatting with someone, I'm like, all right, like let's just do this and get, all right, I'll buy.
Yeah.
But if I'm just walking by, I have a hard time stopping to like pick something up. But if I get into a talk with somebody, I'm pretty good about just being like, all right, I'm in.
Right on. Yeah. Brendan, did you make any purchases when you got away from your booth at all?
I went to one booth, and that's the only booth that I needed to go to.
So you went to the Tato Tacklecraft booth. That was it.
That's it. I got Eons, spinner minners, and the shirt.
So you got the shirt, which is in the laundry, unfortunately. And then you got some spinner. Where did I put my spinner minner?
I'll grab them.
Dude,
right here.
Rich, did you get into that caramel apple place, dude?
Somebody Dexter brought it back to the booth and he couldn't finish it because he's like a little boy, and so I had a slice of his.
They were amazing.
This is like a hard resin.
I saw
line through.
Yes. And it has like it has like a hook in the back, right? A big single hook.
Yeah, it doesn't come with it, but you rig a single hook.
Okay, yeah.
Into the back, like a Zeldane, right?
Mm-hmm.
Just put the line through and then stick it out, tie your hook on.
Yeah, I did see that. It was super interesting. What do they call that one?
The spinner minner, I think is what it's called.
Spinner minner.
It's pretty sweet.
Yeah. So hopefully this is a game changer.
Game changer, bro.
Gotta be.
And then this was my I got two glides. I got the same booth, the Tattle glide.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I checked theirs out. I liked the like the holographic scales they put on those. I thought they looked
like the old school
good.
Lucky Craft crack scale.
Yeah.
And this is on his like dead shad, which is just
I threw that today. It's pretty sweet.
You did? Any bites?
Yeah. No. I had one blow up on I call it the Big Bird. I bought the 9-inch yellow chartreuse one.
Had
one blow up on that one.
Nice.
No taker.
Then I got a Metro Glide.
Why'd you grab a Metro Glide when you have a Tato? Man.
Because I want to support these guys. They do good stuff.
All right.
I feel like they're
true. They're nice.
That was the problem though. There's so many like good glide baits around that expo. You're like, unless you have like ties to one of these where you're like, I'm gonna try theirs or that, like by the time you buy 1, 2, 3, there's like 10 more booths of guys.
Yeah, I mean, I've had both these guys on the stream. I've talked to both of them in person. Like they both have donated stuff to the St. Jude fundraiser. Like,
yeah, like this guy, the Fish Everything guy, I chatted with him forever, and they had some sick baits too. I don't know if you've seen their stuff.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't buy one, but I was like, I probably will. But
you're like, next year I'll try to have like one pair of less socks and I can fit one in my bag. And
I'm like, I barely have room for half the stuff I bought anyway. I'm like crunching on the bag just to get it to go because I'm like, I'm not checking this. Like, let's be real.
I mean, I checked the bag on the way down, but it was mostly full when I got there. I think next year I get 2 free checked bags with my status, so I might as well just bring an empty bag on the way down next year.
Oh, you're bougie. I got it. Okay.
Then you can just throw your stuff in with mine. We'll meet up when you get home.
All right, we could do that.
We'll break down barriers.
This is getting good. I should have just gave you my stuff when I saw you at the airport, so I didn't have to deal with it anymore.
There you go. I'd already checked my bag by that time.
Ah, damn. Yeah, I suppose.
On the way to the airport, just stop at the post
You want to
office.
comment
Ship it
on
to yourself.
the Buddy Jaron appearance? Did you see that?
Okay, I did see this, and yeah, I was salty because those guys ditched me on the way to the weigh-in on day one because they took off on those scooters.
Yeah.
So it was me and Sobe, Steph, and Nicole, and we were all going. And then Jaron showed up right at the end of the day, and he's like, "We're doing this scooter thing," and they all took off. And we're like, "Dude, we're like." Okay, so I text him. I'm like, just meet us at the weigh-in. We took the shuttle over there. They all bailed. And I'm just like, I'm over it, you know. And then I didn't see him at all. And then he obviously showed up on the last day. But I did. There's obviously that's hitting big time on socials everywhere. But it was pretty good. And like Mercer was cool about it. I think it probably worked out really good. But dude's a character.
Yeah.
I don't know what to
so
say.
once Sobe lashed onto the new flashy content creator, he just ditched old friend Pink, just like a hot
naturally,
rock.
right?
Classic
Naturally.
Sobe.
Yeah.
BBC, did you throw the minnow today?
I didn't. I don't have any hooks for it yet.
Come on.
I'm working on it.
Yeah, Frank from Canada says you look like a kid he used to watch on YouTube.
Possibly.
So,
Some
Brendan,
people
how many
remember.
baits did you bring, and how many did you go home with?
I think close to 200, and I went home with like 20.
Nice.
That's solid.
It's pretty
Success.
good. Yeah, most of those 20 are gone now, so that's a good thing.
Very cool.
Yeah.
So let me ask you this. Do you do your stuff only for shows, or do you do like drops online too? Or like how do you sell your stuff normally?
I mean, it's kind of just you message me and tell me what you want, and I build it. So like
Nice.
a lot of guys, like they're just like, hey, I want something with this action and this size, and I build it for them. It's more like custom order stuff.
It's all hand carved balsa, and then he hand paints.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Just a little bit,
Made in the
of this, a
USA.
little bit of that.
Hand carved USA.
Hand carved. These U.S. hands right here.
There you go. You get your. You know what would be a perfect gift for your sweetheart would be a hand carved balsa musky bait.
Yeah. See, that would
There you
probably
go.
go over better because it's like all these other baits. I'm like, I could buy this, but I could probably also get this bit off in about 3 casts. So, yeah,
I can even put her name on there. I can put a date. I can write anything on there.
she'd be down. She'd get that all toothed up.
I think this could be like the birthday or Christmas present of the year right here. Pink. Go
You
ahead.
think so?
I think so. I think that would go over.
It'd
well.
have to be green and black, or she won't even throw it.
like
All
she's
right,
more of a
green
top
and
water or like a big jerk bait, or what do you think?
No, she likes top water, but she's a musky freak. She's straight.
That's what I
blades
meant.
all
Like
day.
I'm talking like big topwater muskie, or more like a Suic style, or like what kind of what kind of balsa would we make?
It'd probably have to be a top water. I think that'd be well. You know, she's a kayak, like she's throwing blades or top water. That's it, man.
Big walking bait.
Something. We'd have to dial it in.
Can definitely do something like that. Rich, did you
Full
meet any
custom.
people that you were wanting to meet?
Yeah,
Did you go in there with like a list of people that you wanted to
I
meet?
did not have a list of people to meet. I had a couple of lists of booths that I wanted to go to. I mean, I met Jermaine in person, which was cool.
Mm-hmm. Indeed.
We got to see a bunch of people that I only see at the classics. It seems like definitely a lot of people that just come up to you, which is awesome to meet the people that are like, you know, love listening to the live streams, love the content, all that kind of stuff, which is always good to put, you know, faces with monikers and usernames. So that's always fun. Met some industry people. Like it's always weird when somebody's at Lose or something like that, and they're like, "Oh yeah, love what you do," and you're like, "Oh, great!" Like awesome, like things like that.
Cool.
I met Debo in person for the first time ever, which was kind of cool. I mean, there's a lot of people that I've talked to online, a ton, right? Whether it's like Instagram DMs or TikTok DMs or have them on live streams or I've been on theirs, and then, or just even anglers I've had as guests, but then actually get to like, hey, shake your hand and be like, I really appreciate when you came on the pod or came on the live stream that one time. That's always kind of fun to actually like.
It's cool.
Or people like that beat you in tournaments, and then you can see them fishing the tournament. You can shake their hand and congratulate them again in person because I got nutted in lacrosse before everybody else in the classic field got nutted. So, I mean,
you'll have that, you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of sad not to see AJ there, though.
Like, I got to meet AJ at a quick trip in lacrosse before I met him at a classic. Just, speaking of making strangers on the internet.
Hey, AJ didn't fly the Berkeley jet down there.
No.
Next year.
But, cool. Well, I guess any other surprises for you, Brendan, or new I don't know, what's any big takeaways from this classic from the year before?
Stand up, don't sit down. don't want to do that. I mean, really nothing much. Just don't let them stick you in a closet. It's not the way to go.
Official, you're coming out of the closet next year, Brendan, at the Hartwell Classic.
Coming out of the closet next year, 2027.
You heard it here first.
Did you get to meet anybody that stopped by the booth that you wanted to meet, Brendan?
I mean, a bunch of people. I got to meet Debo. I got to meet Darius. He stopped by. Yeah. And, just a bunch of people stopped by. A Fat Cat, he brought a few people over there and got to meet him again. I mean, a bunch of people. Like, there's so many people that come through there that you're like, I've seen you before online. It's so weird to like meet him in person finally. Like it's a little weird, but it's really cool to have that like interaction. So bunch of people.
All right. How about you, Pink? Any hunting celebrities you got to meet that you were excited about or anything? Or
I mean, like you said, you kind of like meeting up with people you don't see that often, like at the classic. Like I always feel like I hang around Chancey Walters a lot. He's kind of my boy.
He stopped me in the hallway. He's like, "What's up, stud bull?" or whatever. Like he's standing. I was like, "Oh," he just brings that like. When he comes, you're like, "I feel awesome, right?" I do feel like a bull now that you mention it.
Yeah, I love Chancey, so I try to hang with him a bunch when I'm down there. I feel like I do my best work kind of at the bar with meeting people. So
networking is what we.
Yeah, I feel like I did hit up a lot of people that I probably need to follow up on because I didn't do a great job that night, but met some good people for sure. I do regret not dapping up Steve Harvey when I walked past him though, because I feel like that was my shot for that, but he was slinking around that place a lot.
Like sunglasses on, like
but I don't know if there was too many, like, I don't know. Like I do kind of like you said, you meet people that were just like around that either watch your own stuff or whatever, that it's like, it's weird because obviously you've never met them in person, but they know like everything about you because they listen to like every podcast you ever did or like all this stuff. And so it's kind of like a weird interaction where they like, they walk up to you like they know you like really well. And you obviously have like no idea who these people are, but then it's like,
there is that like moment because you're like, you stayed out a little too late, probably. And so you're maybe not functioning at 130%, and you're waiting for that mountain ops to like fully kick in, right? And they come up to you like they like say your name and they reference something, and you're thinking, do I actually know this person, or am I meeting this person for the first time? And you're trying to like, it's like the hangover, and the numbers are crunching in your head, and you're trying to like.
And I'm like there with my girlfriend, right? And like. A lot of people watch her stuff too and like know her. So they come up and they know us both. And I'm like, is this like one of her friends that I'm just totally like missing the boat on this? Or like, I'm like,
yeah, did I go to a wedding and I don't remember you? Or
yeah, it's like, should I know who this is?
That's the thing.
And then of course,
should I know this person, or this is just a fun new interaction and you're trying to like,
but of course, like, I'm not the kind of person that's going to like, just be like, oh, I don't know. Like I'm in, I'm like, yeah, dude, of course. Like, good to see, like, Okay, well, I can do that too, but it's a lot of fun, dude. Like I said, I feel like I probably met tons of people that I don't even remember like the whole thing, like going through it. But like, yeah, it's fun, like meeting like a lot of reps from some of these companies and stuff too, that just want to chat or they've seen some stuff you did before. I always enjoy that stuff. And yeah, it's crazy. I mean, obviously after like the cut day, like there's obviously a ton of pros like at the expo and stuff too. And getting to chat with some of those guys is fun. Not that I really know them that much, but just like, they just came off of a pretty heavy tournament. So it's nice to kind of just chat with some of those guys every once in a while.
Right on. Yeah. What any big takeaways? Coolest thing you saw? Like what's any final
coolest thing I saw? Well, I will say, having gone to the weigh-ins, the thing I love about the Classic is just how much hype there is just for fishing in general. Like I know there's all this BS about some of the FFS stuff and whatever back and forth, but it's like, if you spent as much time at the expo as I did, which was all of the time that you could possibly spend there, and then go to some of this other events, going out to the parties, all this stuff, everyone in Knoxville is freaking hyped about bass fishing for this tournament, the whole thing. And I think that's like the coolest part. And like, you go to take off, you go out to have breakfast afterward, and there's like every restaurant, everything is full of fishing fans, where you're not going to experience this anywhere else other than at the Classic. So I don't know what all this stuff is about, is people not caring about it and this and that. I'm like, if you were there, you would disagree, because it was wild.
It's a vocal minority.
Yeah, for sure.
Absolutely. I would agree. I guess that was like the whole premise of how the show started, but
okay. Yeah.
Go. Next year, $100
cool
bill for the first person that knows who John Welsh is in person. Cool.
Are you guys going next? Well, you both are going next year, right?
I mean, I'm planning on it. I mean, I haven't like booked anything yet, but Hartwell I have not been to.
Mm-hmm.
So I definitely think that's the one I want to get to. It sounds like the actual expo is like one big room. So it'll simplify things from my understanding. Not a lot of closets and upstairs and downstairs and side rooms and things like that. I think the expo and the weigh-in are close to each other, and then it's maybe only like a 30-minute drive to the lake. That's my understanding. So I think you can swing it. You're probably not going to go to the takeoff every day, but like doing one day is pretty doable. And then I think that's the biggest thing, is having the weigh-in and the expo close proximity. Like Tulsa had a really nice. That was even. I mean, Tulsa weigh-in to expo was even closer than Knoxville, I think.
Yeah,
you weren't there. It was like 2 blocks.
That's super close. Was the venue as good for like viewing it though? Like at takeoff,
venue.
like.
I never went.
Oh,
yeah,
like, okay.
One of those ones that's like Ray Roberts, like an hour and a half away. I never went.
Got it. Yeah. Dude, I got to ask you this though. At the expo this year, on the main show floor, like the main building, where like the Ranger booth, Bass Pro, all that stuff was.
Okay, so the downstairs. No, are you talking about?
Yes, the downstairs, like the main big area. Did you? Okay, so there was a hawk trapped in there. Did you guys view this?
What?
Missed that.
Missed that.
Okay, so when everyone was setting everything up on Thursday, a hawk got in there, like full size hawk, not like a little bird, like hawk in there the whole time.
That's nuts. Was it like some like big like red tail hawk, like something like?
Well, I'm not like a biologist, but like it was a hawk. Like
it was. Wow. I wonder how that got in there. That's a little weird.
Well, I suppose on move-in day you got all those doors that are just like held open, right?
Yeah.
Somehow, and
I mean,
maybe like a little bird flew in and he was like hot pursuit and like
I don't know, man. But I was surprised I didn't see anything about it, like anyone post anything about it, because when we were sitting there during the setup, because like the Lakewood booth was all set up, we were just sitting in the chairs at like the Ranger booth, just like sitting there watching everybody like build all their stuff. And this hawk is like flying around and everything. And we're talking to people like, how are they going to get this thing out of here? And everyone's like, not our problem. Like, I don't know. But I think it just lived in there. Like maybe it could still be there. I don't know.
I mean, what about like some lady like with one of those little purse dogs all of a sudden, like
Or the fish in the bass tank. Maybe they was preying on those fish in the bass tank.
Maybe, dude. I was
I
like,
mean,
that'd be
have
kind
you
of
seen
cool.
some of these swim baits? It could have tried to eat the swim bait.
It could have been. I mean, really, there's no telling.
Just saying. Figured I'd bring it up. I wanted to know if anyone else got eyes on this thing.
You may have to post it on social media and be like, "Did anybody see the hawk?"
I'm gonna have to, dude. I feel like there's people that know and they're not talking. Like,
Status update, please.
yeah, we'll get to the bottom of it.
There's the nugget of the night.
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate it, guys. Thanks for coming on, breaking down the classic. Turns out, front-facing sonar did not ruin the classic. I think that's the end game. So, sorry, Randy. Sorry, the people that were on the chat earlier that first tuned in. I guess we've debunked this. Taylor from Iowa definitely said he saw a pigeon in the expo. So,
dude, I'm telling you, this was a raptor. Okay,
maybe he was after the pigeon.
Maybe that was his prey.
Yeah.
Right on. Appreciate it, dudes. We'll wind this up and we'll end the live, and we'll probably be back next week with some guests or something. So, thanks everybody.
Thank you.